Thank y'all for tuning in to Politics, Religion, and Whiskey, the Josh Terry podcast, brought to you by Raising Grace Studios. Want to give a big shout out to Williams Tire, Nobles Networking, Par Hopper, also Gridiron Coffee. Appreciate you guys coming on as a sponsor. Our management company, Red Circle, and all the corporate sponsors they have associated with the show. I'm very grateful for each and every one of y'all. You motherfuckers know I like controversy. Y'all know that I like bullshitting, but I also like seeing both sides of a story. I say it all the time. I'm a conservative with a lot of liberal views. And I honestly can't tell you what the fuck this guy's fixing to say, but I'm going to have fun with it. I would like to introduce y'all Foolish Ways.
Hello.
Mr. Aaron from Milledgeville.
Y'all miss me so much, don't you?
You can move that mic closer to your face if you need to.
Okay, appreciate it.
There you go.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
This is going to be interesting. You ever done anything like this before?
This is the first time I've ever done anything outside of my itty bitty bathroom.
Well, man, fuck it.
Or outside the work truck when I'm taking a break and making everybody else do that.
You've made so many fucking people mad from the inside of that work truck, dude. You pissed me off a time or two.
I still got that same truck too.
Well, I tell you, back at the beginning of the year, I saw some of your stuff. I was very intrigued by you and thought about having you on the show then. You disappeared on me, and now I just found out why, and you were going to let everybody know why in a minute why the fuck you disappeared. But I think a lot of people have talents. I think you have very good talent of pissing people off, and very, very good. I'm good at doing it with women, but you're fucking good at doing it with everybody.
Well, you know, I've been pissed off a lot, so I just learned how to run with it. But yeah, I got deleted. I got deleted in February. It was a week before my birthday, and if everybody would like to know why I got deleted, is because.
Well, we'll get that in a sec. Tell them where you're from and all that.
I am from Milledgeville, Georgia. Born and raised. Went to Baldwin County High School. Did not graduate, but I did get a good enough diploma. We will probably get into that later on.
There we go. See, there you go. Baby steps. We don't have to. One thing about it, first show.
Yeah, I'm brand new.
Just don't rush it. Just don't rush it. You got plenty of time to say whatever you need to. We'll get in all parts of your story.
Yes, because I am used to using 1 minute videos.
You don't have to. You got, I don't even know how long we're going to go. We're going to go at least 45 minutes, but hell, we fucking go as long as we want to.
That's right.
But anyway, so check this out. Folks, I am, as everyone knows, I get intrigued by people, and I think a lot of people are full of shit on social media, and I have to get to know them. So with the stuff that you were posting beforehand, I didn't really reach out too much because I thought, I was like, this guy's full of shit. But I knew you was good at what you do. I could tell like you were smart. That's one thing you can always tell by somebody on social media. When they find their groove with something, they know how to stay in that groove. And I get on a lot of people's ass that's been on the show and everything, because I call them one-trick ponies because they only know how to speak on one subject. You know how to piss people off on fucking every subject. Mm-hmm. And also, you didn't sound ignorant in some of the stuff you said. I didn't like the shit that you would say most of the time, but you didn't sound like it was just, one thing I get mad about liberals about all the time, or the left, is they say something that's because they said so. Is why we should believe it and not fucking facts and shit to back it up. You actually, you would throw some facts at them.
Yes. I have the ability to just make people react. And that was my main goal once I started to grab a toehold. It's like I was making content and I didn't have any following. And when I made the content, just nobody reacted to it. So I was in Walmart one day and I was looking around and I'm thinking, and I'm at the self-checkout line because they ain't got no damn registers open. And I'm like, well, shit. And it's 2020, it's middle of the election season, fixing to kick off pretty hard. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, man, if they could just steal the shit out of shit in here. Who the hell would know? There's only one person, there's 9 registers, and there's lines of people. I said, I bet I could get away with half of the stuff that's in this buggy. Now, I don't steal because it's not right, but I don't need people to think that. So
I fucking done it before it happened. I was a kid at one point in fucking time.
So I went out to the car and I sit in the car for a second and I make a video. And I just made a random video on TikTok when I had my original account about how I wish everybody would eventually just go to self-checkout. And I posted it and nothing really happened. And there was a comment that came across that post that said something about the economy dropping, if something, this, that, and the third. And I took that comment, ran with it, came up on the porch and ran up to the phone and just decided to explain to everybody how they should steal. I was just telling everybody what I was thinking about that day in the self-checkout line myself. And it ended up going pretty good on TikTok. People were stitching it, duetting it. Cops stitched it and duetted it. But the
pissing off the law.
what really got it going and what really started to become who I was on TikTok was the comments. That video got over 500,000 views in like 2 weeks, and the comments were unreal. And when I started looking at the comment section, they were talking trash. And then about a week after that happened, I still was making content, but after about a week after I made that video, I had an incident happen in my mouth where I had a sore. I don't know where it came from. I bite my nails. I work outside. I am a man. So I don't give a shit about no water.
Yeah, we don't know about working about fucking outside.
I don't worry about washing hands when I go out there. I eat a sandwich with dirt on my hands. I'm a Gen X boy. I was born a boy, raised a boy. So I just decided I had a sore in my mouth and I couldn't wear my teeth. I couldn't even put them in my mouth. So I looked at my wife and I was like, well, shit. I said, I gotta make a decision because I'm starting to get some attention on TikTok and that's what I want. I either got to make videos without my teeth in my mouth or I got to stop. And I was like, I'm not stopping. I said, shit, balls out. Let's get it. So let's let the dick swing and go. So I took my teeth out, started making content, and the comments came. And I want to say that's what really got me going was the fact that I was making the content with my teeth out of my mouth. But all the comments that were negative, bashful, and hateful had the same common denominator. And I'll live and die by this. It's Trump 2020. I was like,
that's where originally I had made a video and it got a shit ton of views. But it was where you had posted about coming to get our guns on our January 21st. Get ready. And I stitched the video and I said it's easy to fucking not like gun rights or not got guns when you can't fucking own them in the first place.
I was doing something at one of my yards and I hadn't posted. I had posted, but I wasn't getting. I felt like I was being shadow banned. And I was like, I got to do something.
I imagine 110% you was getting shadow banned.
I was like, I got to do something. I got to make these folks react to a video. I said, how can I piss off them damn Republicans? Man, they done talking all this shit. They talking all this shit about my mouth. I said, let's see. So I went to the truck. I got all the guys in the back because they use a lot. The equipment gets loud. So I have to wait for them to kind of like herd to the back of the property. So it got kind of quiet. And I propped the phone up on the truck door and I was like, what do Democrats want to do the most to the Republican Party? I said, they want to take their damn guns. I said, oh shit. So I put the phone up there and I timed it and I said, hey, conservatives, what y'all gonna do when January the 21st when Biden comes or they come? I forgot how I actually worded it. And I looked at that son of a bitch for about 10 minutes and I was like, oh, you could no, don't do that. Don't post that. You can't even have a gun.
Yeah.
I said, you can't have a gun since a week after you turn 18. What the hell? You've never been able to have a gun. Like, you can't even shoot a deer. Like, what the shit? Like, you go hunting at Kroger. So, like post. I was like, I can't give a shit. And what I used to do to get them, and I was like, I leave all my stitches and duets on. My whole page was open. You can see my videos, but I knew how to hashtag.
Yeah.
So I hashtag to a it was what I used to hashtag. I want to say that the account went away, but it was conservative hype house or something like that. It was really big, had millions of followers, and I would their hashtag would be on my videos, and they just lit up, and they kept stitching and duetting, and I was like, okay, so here they come with that one. Then I decided I was in the store one day, and I was like, looking at comments, all right, and I started. This was the mask situation came about. I walked outside the store on lunch and I had a mask on. I was like, shit. And I pulled it down and I said something about wearing a mask. We're going to beat y'all's ass for not wearing no goddamn mask.
Yeah.
And I posted that one. And when I got home, my wife says, can I talk to you for a second? I said, what? She says, can you explain this video that you posted today? And I'm like, what? I said, it's got a lot of views, man. I got them. They mad as hell. I said, she said, I ain't talking about that. I was like, what? She said, did you watch? Did you know what you said? I said, no, what do you mean? She said, this is one of them random ones, isn't it? This one was like a 15-second video. I was like, what you mean? She said, watch it. And I was like, she said, now you have to wear a mask everywhere. She said, you don't even have a mask. She said, you realize that that's the only mask you got, and that's because you got it at the store that you was in, so you can make the video when you came out the store. I was like, she said, now you got to wear a mask everywhere you go, because if you don't, you think these folks don't see you? Because there's a guy up there that works there that he knows who I was, because he works on the pool. He works for a pool company, and he spoke to me one time at the store, and he was like, yeah, me and my wife follow you because I made a video at his wife's restaurant.
Oh shit.
And he was like, that's my wife's. And I was like, oh shit, for real? And he was like, yeah, I see you every morning at the store. I was like, well, say something. And then next thing I know, he's the same guy that does all the pools at all the yards that I cut.
Damn.
So I was like, it's a small world. But she was like, yeah, you don't have a mask. What in the fuck are you? Why? Why would you make? I was like, I need it. Then I made one about. There's a lot of videos that I made. Some were triggers. Some were meant to be a trigger video, but it was also how I truly felt. The two videos that, like the mask video, that was just particular. Like, you can't honestly believe. Please tell me that the people on the internet don't honestly believe that if someone sees them not wearing a mask, that's a fucking assault charge.
Yeah, but you got people doing it. That's the reason why though people. I think they took you serious with that one because you have motherfuckers that are coming up to you and telling you put your fucking mask on. And luckily, I'm not one of those that you look like that you want to walk up to and tell them to do anything. And there's a lot of other conservatives and liberals too. They look more intimidating. I'm a puppy. I'm like a fucking big. I'm a big teddy bear. But most people that I don't wear a fucking mask nowhere. I've never had anybody come up. I've had somebody say a smart ass comment one time, but it was just this fucking, you could tell she had the most miserable life ever, uppity bitch. And she said something to me, it's old honky. And I just told her, I was like, look, I ain't telling you to not wear yours. So don't fucking tell me to wear mine.
I have never, like, this baffles me because I know I'm noticed because I've had people say something to me like, hey, you're that guy. On TikTok that likes to piss people off. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I had a girl yesterday ask me, hey, are you Avery? I'm like, yeah. I'm not used to you saying my real name. I'm like, yes, that's me. Since the beginning of COVID, I haven't nothing. It hasn't existed to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say it's not there because I know my wife's granddaddy died last year. They said COVID. I'm not a doctor, it's above my pay grade, so I don't know. I just know what the doctor told me. I haven't been sick. I haven't been tested.
I've had it twice.
I haven't been sick. I haven't been tested. I haven't been vaccinated. I don't wear a mask. I've never even had a conversation with anyone about it, period, unless I brought it up or I was talking shit. Like, I had to literally make those videos to do.
I had it one time at the beginning of last year, and I thought I just had the flu, but I tested negative for both strands of the flu. This was before it shut down or anything, before COVID was even an issue. But that's more than likely what it was. And then earlier this year, all I did was I lost my taste and my smell for like 2 weeks.
That's what I look for.
And that's fucking it.
That's what I look for.
I was tired, but I'm fucking fat and lazy. So I'm always goddamn tired.
Because I drink coffee every morning. I'm addicted to Red Bulls. I quit smoking a couple months ago, 6-7 months ago. So I just haven't. I never lost the sense of smell, never lost the sense of taste, never got sick, never had a fever, never been approached. I've held doors open for people. I've gotten stuff off the shelf for people. It's like I've never skipped a beat in my everyday life, except for when I made that dumbass video and then I had to start wearing a mask. Then I had to make that a habit. You know how many unnecessary steps I've took having to go back to the vehicle because I mentally forgot to get to my mask? Is the most aggravating. That was probably the worst video I've ever made because I put myself in a position to where I have to be a masker.
Yeah, see, I don't care. I mean, and there's stuff that I say, anything that I post on social media is me, but it's me turned up to 10. So like, I'm not going to put on there anything like that because what you just said, I know what happened to me is then I'm going to be fucking questioned everywhere I go. So that's why I don't put anything on there that's not me.
That's like the mask most of the mask people wear now they're not going to do shit. Like,
the doctors that done came out,
people are
the
swearing
fucking particles that actually would make you sick are going to go through whatever mask it is any fucking way.
I would like to see these diehard people who wear these little baby cloth masks, who live and die by these masks, who say that these masks protect you from the COVID virus. Go fuck a AIDS positive prostitute with a condom that's not a lifestyle or a Trojan.
I mean,
it's the same concept. In my personal opinion, you wouldn't go out there and half step doing something like that without the proper protection. So if the mask situation is that serious, then they need to figure out how to give everybody the proper mask.
The reason I don't give a fuck about the mask or people wearing them is just simple. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body or how you want to protect yourself. So if it makes you feel more comfortable, you wear them.
Mhm.
By all means, if you want to get vaccinated, fuck, get vaccinated.
That's right.
But if I'm not going to sit here and tell you how fucking stupid you are for doing it, don't tell me how stupid I am for not doing it. That's my only problem. I'm all about people protecting themselves the way they want to. Once again, one of the things with me is I believe we still live in a fucking free country.
Yes.
I don't have to do shit I don't want to do just because it's your opinion.
That's right.
And but same thing goes in return. I don't believe you should have to do anything because of my fucking opinion on whatever subject.
That's it. What I eat don't make you shit. Yeah. Period.
That's when I messaged you. I told you. I said I don't give a fuck about your beliefs.
That's it.
I don't care.
Because I remember at one point when I want to say, and I don't know how true this is. I want to say this is what I had heard because everything happened really fast when my account got deleted.
Yeah.
But I was Mr. Liberal. I was Mr. Anti.
Oh, you had it. Yeah.
So I want to say that they was trying. I think maybe you said something earlier that they was trying to get me and you because of you being the conservative, and me being the anti-Trump, and I'm not really. I just I went towards the comments and I went towards the people who I knew.
Well, I'm not fucking the biggest Trumpy. Like my thing is I'm who for makes my community better.
That's it.
I don't even go by my state. I go by my fucking community, by my family's way of life. The past 4 years, the reason why I support Trump, regardless, or supported him at the time, is because he made my environment and my life and my community better. If fucking Obama didn't fucking shit to bed in my community, I had nothing against him. And I still think he's one of the best fucking speech givers of all time.
That man talk.
But the only problem with Biden is, and if he was, I believe that every American is supposed to support their president. The problem with Biden is he's literally not there. The lights are on, but ain't a motherfucker home. And you can't force feed it to me the way they're doing it.
What kills me with him, and I spoke for him because it was my content, but what kills me with him is that you'll see a video on TikTok with Joe Biden talking, and it'll sound like somebody's chopped and screwed that video, but they haven't touched it. No, they just straight recorded it off the TV. Like I couldn't get high and listen to him talk because I wouldn't hear shit.
Oh, I could get high and listen to talk. I promise you.
He sounds like fucking Foghorn Leghorn. Like get that shit out. About come on, Porky, let's get it. What are you up there doing? This isn't. I don't understand why are you not making these folks go to work?
Yeah.
That's this affecting my job. Like I'm waiting on brand new equipment for me that ain't being built. We're waiting on there's I heard at my job the other day that in Kentucky, there's 750,000 F-150s that are sitting in a plant ready to be sold and distributed, but they can't do it because they can't get the chips for them because won't nobody get off their asses and go to work to get the chips because Daddy Joe is just throwing out money like he's on Oprah.
Fucking brand new car dealership and they're fucking depleted.
And
there's so many things that are fucking depleted right now
because people
it's gonna be even worse though because they're gonna shut everything back down.
And it's getting worse. Like my mom showed me a message. I haven't paid it no attention. Once I decided to come back on. I'm not doing politics like that. I don't want because I heard.
I'm telling you are going to be a person that you have to be so against what's ever occurring. You have to be so against or so for. Like right now, this is your two options. For you to blow up right now today on social media, one, you get on there and be like, God damn, Biden's doing this great job. Like he needs to be at his vacation house. He's working so fucking hard. Like that'll blow you up. Or two, you'd be like, you know what? I wish I was in Afghanistan just to hang out with the fucking Taliban. Like I want to go over there and steal some shit too. Like
they went to self-checkout.
Yeah. You think self-checkout's bad? Just go to fucking Afghanistan right now. You can get a goddamn Humvee for nothing.
What size Kool-Aid packet was that one?
Yeah, no shit. I was like, you have to be. That's the only role you're gonna fit. That's literally the asshole role is the only role you're gonna fit. The only reason I say that is because I'm asshole role on the other side.
Yeah.
Only thing is I can twist my words sometimes and they fucking float like air. I'm telling you, you try to put out regular content.
I went on a positive route this time to an extent about my personal self, but when it comes to talking about topics, I'm gonna always have my own. Yeah. I'm gonna always I got this one thought process about America, and this sits why does everybody have a problem with Hispanics coming to America? Now, I understand that the population, I understand all of the jobs and this, that, and the third. I understand that. But just in general, white people came from Europe. We all know white people came from Europe and took America from the indigenous people. And we all know that white people went to Africa and put black people on ships and brought them to America. But they got a problem with Hispanics who are literally from South America, Central America, to come to America. Like they're literally the real Americans.
Okay. This is where we get have fun.
I mean, like, because I work with 2 South Americans, 1 Mexican and a Central American, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I was like, where are you from? And he's like, I'm from Guatemala. I want to say it's in South America. I want to make sure I get the country right, but he's from South America. And I'm like, so you're American? He's like, see? I was like,
there's several issues. We'll start with one. If you ain't gonna pay fucking taxes, you shouldn't be here.
You're right.
The reason why I pay some of mine, but I can afford a CPA to make sure that mine are limited.
When I get there, I will understand.
So here's the deal. One reason why conservatives and Republicans have such a bad taste in their mouth about it is because you have people on the left that are bitching about, hey, let's fucking raise taxes. It'll help pay for everything, right? We want to give handouts to fucking people, right? But there's so many people on the left that are lower income that don't already fucking pay anything. So it's easy to say, hey, pay this when you can't they don't have to pay it in the first place. So it's the people that's in the middle class and upper middle class that you always get fucked. So you have these people that are coming over from illegally.
The more you make,
and
the more
make
they take.
good money.
The more you make, the more they take.
They make good money, but they don't have to pay their part. I don't think anybody has a problem with them coming over and getting legalized, because then you're a fucking American. If I've got to fuck up and pay taxes and I don't want to pay, then you fucking pay taxes.
Well, see, this is what gets me, and I've seen this because I get all the paychecks. The only one person can get out, because it's a lot of people that work there, so they don't want to be bum rushed with hundreds of people. So the supervisors get the paychecks. So this is what kills me. None of them are legal.
Yeah,
all of them pay taxes.
The fucking business owners getting that shit back.
None of them are like, I asked him, I was like, hey.
He's taking them out and putting it in his fucking pocket.
Hey, Migo. He's like, what? I said, that's let me see your checks. I said, that's taxes. He's like, I said, you legal? He's like, no. I was like, because I'm teaching them English. Yeah. Because they're teaching me Spanish because we just can't talk. I was like, damn it. You understand me yesterday. You understand me today. I said the same thing. So we're trying to get our language barriers together.
I'll go and tell you, he's like, the boss is taking the taxes out because at the end of the year, he has to account for the wages that he's paid out. So that'll be, he'll still have to pay the taxes. Like your check comes out, you might go to straight Social Security, other things like that. So you're already paying your fucking
I don't
taxes.
look at his check stub. I just know that when he gets it, he opens it and it's 2.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that, hell, he could just be paying him straight up cash to a check and just writing it out in a check. He could be doing that, but when you have a stub, because normally when I had a job, because when I first got out of prison in 2005, I got a job painting houses.
Yeah.
And because it was hard to find work. And the guy paid me under the table. I didn't pay taxes, but I got a check, but it was a handwritten check from his wife, and I would cash it at my bank. So, if I worked, he was paying me $10 an hour when I first got the job, and I had no experience. So I'd work 50 hours a week and I'd get a $500 check. So that may be what they're doing, because their fucking envelopes be thick as shit. I do know that. So, but that's just, it's not, I don't want it to become a major topic. It's just ironic when you think about it. I guess it was just my mind thinking about it. They're from America, but they don't want to.
Yeah, but they're not really. This is
because this is like my son told me.
They're not really though.
Because my son came home from school one day and was like, we got to arguing. He's 12, and he was talking about. I said, we got to talking about science and the planets. He was like, it's 8. What? He said, there's 8 planets. I said, no, come here, little motherfucker. What? He said, there's 8 planets. I said, how many? No, there's 9 planets. He was like,
well, that's
no,
what
there's
we were talking.
8. I said, there's 9. He said, there's 8. I said, well, if there's 8 and there's not 9, then somebody needs to take me back to school and explain to me why. He said, well, they consider Pluto as a dwarf planet. I said, what? And this is where I kill him at. He said, a dwarf planet. I said, a dwarf what? He said, planets. I said, a what? I said, so it's still a planet. He said, yeah. I said, well, give it this respect.
Damn.
And he's like, Dad, I can't.
I can't tell you about that because I don't fucking care.
You ought to
And
see,
Pluto
like,
ain't never once
no,
you
it
get
ain't
past
shit.
Uranus, I don't give a
It was
fuck.
just a way for me because I'm that dad that likes to jug at the kids and test them to see how their mental capacity is and their argument levels and see how good they can hold up themselves in an argument.
Yeah, that's an important topic for our important attribute to have for anybody.
Especially this day and age.
you
You got to be able to hold your own in an argument.
But no, you kind of wanted to jump off the Mexican thing. I actually like talking about that. No, but with them, you got to understand. We all got buddies that are legal. My dad does drywall for a living. He owns a drywall company, right? So we've had illegals that have worked for us. But there comes a time that you got to kind of say fuck it, that you just can't do it no more.
That's it.
Because there's men and women that have grew up in this country that are struggling. Like they can't even get a fucking job.
Mm-mm.
And I know that we should, a lot of people just want the profit. A lot of people don't care about the meaning behind the profit. But if you go with all illegals now, there's some American that ain't getting work, but Americans lazy as fuck. Some of them don't want to do those shitty jobs in the first place. It's kind of a double-edged sword. But, I really wish they'd all either get legalized or they go back over there.
I wish that everybody that worked would actually pay taxes, and that would prevent people from being able to pay people under the table. But I also understand as a business owner, if I own a business and I could take off and make it a bigger business within a year by paying people under the table, then and I knew I could, I probably would. But I also know that if the more people that are paid under the table is going to make me have to pay more taxes to fill the gaps of people.
Yeah, but for a business owner though, you have an income that's coming in. Then you disperse the income. It should be, you would almost think, for business owners for the end of the year, that if you disperse the income, it would be better on your taxes instead of it just showing income coming into you and it just sitting there. That looks like you made more than you actually made. Yes. So a lot of business owners now, because they need to, I think of like a lot of them fixing to go. I think a lot of the immigrants and everything are fixing to go. And I think that's the problem that most conservatives have with illegals being here is if you and me both, we've been in trouble with the law before. We both got a fucking felony, right? If me and you've got to do something and we're probably the lower of the low in the government size because of our past criminal history, if we got to do it, then a motherfucker coming over here better have to do the same goddamn things as me.
Yeah, damn right. I gotta do that shit. That's the conservative in me. Like when I go put gas in my car, nobody just give me the $20. I had to go work for that $20 to put the money in my gas tank. That's the taxes. I don't.
Plus, you realize that, and you've worked in construction. You said painted a while ago.
I painted. I'm mainly
illegal immigrants have killed drywall companies, paint companies, roofing companies, everybody that when they first started these housing booms, they have destroyed that industry because they have lowballed every American to the point to where, like my dad, I know for a fucking fact, he had a huge company 20 years ago. Mexicans started coming over here and it fucking destroyed it.
But if you think about it, if somebody owns a company and they hire a bunch of Mexicans that are lowballing the price to get the job done, then who would really be at fault?
No, the Mexicans end up taking over the business though.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I just thought they came in like,
no, that's
well,
how
I'll
it all
charge
fucking,
you.
I'll
charge you.
Right, so my dad used to have this guy named Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie was crew leader.
Okay.
For like a couple, he hired them. I think it was like in 2000 or whatever. He hired Eddie because Eddie could speak half-ass good English.
Okay.
He had probably 20 Mexicans under him. He would tell them, hey, 5 of you go to this house, 5 of you go to this house, 5 of you go to this house. Okay. My dad had the connections with all the builders.
Okay.
He would tell Eddie, hey, line this stuff up. Eddie would go work with one of the crews, whatever. Well, when Eddie realized that he was getting paid the amount of money he was getting paid, which was probably a very fair amount, knowing my daddy, Eddie said, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm going to go to the builder myself because I'm the one doing all these houses and say, hey, I'm already doing these houses.
See it now.
Let me go ahead and instead of you paying him 90 cents on the dollar, you can pay me 70 cents on the dollar. and then you take work away from somebody who built the company.
So that'd be like me. Basically, what you just said is me going to all of my homeowners and saying, I'll cut your grass for $50 less than what you're paying
Yes.
now if you'll let me come.
That
do it
is why the
on my
housing
own.
market.
I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
that's why
I see what you're
contractors and
saying.
everything
I
now.
appreciate you breaking it down.
Yeah, like
I
that.
appreciate it.
That's why, like now, you know, people say when they get fucking mad at illegals, you didn't fucking earn that. My dad had to fucking build his business up for 20
He gave
years.
you the job. You saw the
Yeah.
ins and outs in a month
Yeah.
and decided to sneak
Yeah,
in
you
and,
said
and do
fuck it.
some.
But that's not just him. That is every single fucking person. Warner Robins, Georgia over here, when the base really started fucking taking off and everybody wanted to work there probably 30 years ago, there is probably been 500,000 homes that have been built in that area because of the base and because of the job on the base. There has been builders that have made millions and millions and millions of dollars because of those land development deals. Fucking the Mexicans came up there and killed every African American, every white guy, everybody that had busted their ass to build a business before the boom happened.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh no.
Because they work. I work with Mexicans. I see how they work, and they get it done.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to tell my wife, man, I outwork. No, when I was at my old company, before I switched jobs, I had to do everything on my own.
Yeah.
I was a one show pony. I would do all the yards by myself because it was a smaller company, but we did a lot of work. And other guys that worked there would go do irrigations. So they knew I knew how to cut grass, and I would make sure the yards were good. They could trust me. Go. And I used to tell my wife, man, I outwork a Mexican. And I switched jobs. No, shitting on me. It's the way they work. They do it. They have a system, and they just get it done. I'm just sitting there.
And they
watching.
do a good job.
They do a good job.
I mean, that's the problem with all of it. If they did a shit job, you really have a reason just to kick them the fuck out and say, no, you ain't doing this. But they do such a fucking good job, and they're so efficient. That's why they get the chances they get. And I still would be fine with them doing it if they charged a fair price compared to what everybody else is doing and you were legal.
I would like to see them to get the vetting that they do to keep the bads out. Because you got bad people in every race. I don't give a shit who you are. You got bad Mexicans, you got bad blacks, bad whites, you got bad Asians, you got bad indigenous people, just people that are just bad to their core because of who they are. If the vetting system could be done to where they could literally get these people at the border documentation to become a citizen, they would work. Wouldn't that build the economy?
See, this is where me and you, people are going to listen to this. They're going to think me and you be opposite on this. I don't believe in the vetting because I believe in growth. I believe that there's some things that should be an instant fucking no.
Yes.
But me and you both got felonies. If you vetted by some people's standards, we wouldn't be allowed in this country.
You're right. We would both be a piece of you see what in their eyes because they only see what's presented to them. They don't possess the ability to be like, what did you say his name was? Well, let me go over here and do my own thing and come to their own conclusion. That's what I wish people had the ability to. It's so many, the world is full of yes men and yes women.
Yeah.
One person says something, oh, he's got 150,000 followers and he said this, then they all just eat that shit up like it's.
That's why there's these groups and stuff that travel around for like TikTok and other things. And I like most of them. I had a lot of them on my show. I've been asked to go do some of this stuff. I will not do it. I won't. Like I
heard you today. You said you want to be independent. Like you want to be individual.
I am.
You want to be your own. That's me.
Like I want to have people around me that are different and that you can have educated conversations with and debates. It's one reason why the fuck I asked you in here. You know how boring it gets when everybody agrees with everything? It gets, but see, that's where people fuck up with this when they're trying to do these shows. They have people on all the time, and I still want to have people on that have the same views and everything as me. But I want to see the other side of conversations.
That's it.
Like you cannot grow as a country, as a community, as a person, if you do not try to see the other side of people's arguments.
You sure can.
I commend all those folks that want to run together. They have a very good time. They're very comfortable with it. But I would be uncomfortable with everybody having the same mindset.
Yeah, you can run. You can
That's
run.
Real Nazi-ish to me.
You can run with your friends. You can run with But you need to have the ability to have your own thought
Yeah.
process, and you have to step outside of that setting and be like, I just don't agree with what they're doing at this point in time, but those are still my peeps. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Instead of, well,
No, I love them. I love
You
fucking
see-
every one of them. I got
I
several.
don't despise, I don't dislike.
What's funny is like I got you today, and then this is coming out on Monday. So I got you on Monday, then I got Perfectly Kelsey on Wednesday.
Mhm.
And me and Kelsey have already done a show together. She is very well educated. She is fucking just an awesome, awesome person. But you talk about the polar opposite of everything that I damn near believe in. Polar opposite, but she is so well educated and so level headed and knows how to have a conversation. And instead
I've
of
heard
just
her name. I
and
think,
she's
I may have
big.
seen some of her stuff.
She was very hated for a very long time on social media, but now I think she's starting to win people over because she's a fucking good person. I'm one of those. I want you to hate me. Like I want the people who don't like me to hate. That's when I told you earlier what you work for, like what works for you. I told you what works for you. But here's the deal. I got told a very long time ago when I just got started, probably 5-6 years ago with everything. The people who don't like you are never going to fucking change their mind.
Mm-mm.
You make your content for the people that enjoy your content, that like you. The people that listen to you are the ones that's going to listen to you. Your haters, you have more haters on social media than you have people that actually like you. That's why your views are always higher than your likes.
Yes.
And you have to play towards the ones that actually like. Who gives a fuck? I do not care. If you take TikTok away from me right now, fuck y'all, I'm fine. I've been doing this shit. You ain't.
I might not be that fine because I got to get to the point where I would be fine, and then that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I go and tell you, it's just like OnlyFans finna get took away from all these women.
That's what I've heard.
Oh,
My
it's
wife
done.
told me that shit about
It's
October 1st.
It's October 1st, and I could have saw it fucking coming. I'm pretty sure I've told some of these girls. I've had girls in here that are worth millions that's done the show. That one of them's made like 1.5 in the past year. Another girl that's been in here has made like, she's probably over 1.2 million by now. I ain't talked to her lately. But I told them that like back in the day with Snapchat, the reason why Bearded Bastard blew up so big was because I used to do like Titty Tuesday and Hump Day and all this shit, and used to have fucking 100 something thousand followers on Snapchat making fucking bank. But I saw the end coming. I opted out, changed the name so I could work in radio.
That's it.
And to keep growing. I knew OnlyFans was fucking going to end for just the simple fact that the reason why it's ending, because it wasn't designed for that in the first place. Mm-hmm. And the people that pay you out, like, what the fuck's it called? Like PayPal and all that, they're anti-porn. They're all like all these paying services.
So like PayPal. And
yeah,
like
PayPal.
Cash Out.
They're all anti. If you are doing anything that's sexual, like they don't want no fucking part of it. And now they've done realized in the past year and a half, we're paying these people $100 or whatever, paying them a lot of money every month.
And y'all don't even
and we're
agree
making
with what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't agree with it. That's why it's getting took down.
I don't knock people who make OnlyFans. I've never really grasped. I can't wrap my brain around the fact that you got people out there that are paying $20 because I'll click on an OnlyFans. I'll never subscribe to one because I got free porn on the internet.
Yeah.
Knowing my luck, I would pay $20, get on someone's page and be looking, and then 2 days later, bump into them, but like I done seen your butthole. So I don't really know how the fuck this conversation is supposed to even remotely start, but I've seen your butthole, nice little cherry you got. You see what I'm saying? It's just, and when I know that I can just, and I'm married, I wouldn't. Hey babe, how much money we got in the bank account? Got a couple of $100. Wow, I want to subscribe to this chick's OnlyFans page. What?
Yeah.
Why? I want to see her butthole. I got a butthole. Okay. I just don't. I mean, I'm a man. I
get.
But if I could take my little wang wang and sling it around like a helicopter and make 1.5 million in a year, then damn it, let's chop it off.
I say I wouldn't because of my daughter. But has it crossed my mind? Oh yeah, I get fucking thirsty ass women all over me all the time. Me and fucking John Michael was just talking about the other day. Man, I'm telling you, if I could set it for $100 for whatever, and I post 10, 12, whatever on there, and then say, hey, this is a one-time thing, I'd fucking have $100,000 in the bank. I would have $100,000 in the bank in fucking a week.
That's just like that
But
one dude.
it's not worth it.
It's like the one dude on TikTok that made a video, man. If everybody on my, and I got 250,000 followers. If everybody was to cash at me $1, and then I did that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that's not a cycle that you really want to go down, but it sounds good.
Oh, you're right, because it don't. Well, my thing is like I already speak at political events. I already do all these other stuff. I'm already taboo in my fucking political world. There's a woman that's running for governor here, and I'm like on her team.
Okay.
It's already taboo for me to be on that team because one, I don't support the Confederate flag. I support a whole lot of fucking not old boy system shit. Like I don't. I think that it is 2021, and I think there is a lot of things that do need to be changed.
Yes, I agree.
And when you hear somebody that looks like me say
that's
shit
what got
like
them.
that,
That's what got them. One of the biggest videos, and DL Hewley shared my video on Instagram. Cool. My video made it the world star. And this is, I want to word this correctly. This I felt like this truly with some people, but not all people. And it came across as all people, but some people, I really feel this is what it means. When I came up, my wife walked outside on the back porch. I was sitting on a swing set. And I jumped up with the phone and said, y'all motherfuckers don't give a shit about all lives matter. That's the only way y'all can say white lives matter and get away with it. I said, all lives matter, but I started talking about the border. I started talking about the locking of your car door when a black guy walks by, the Asian hate that people are going through. And it blew up. But I honestly believe in my heart that some people say that when they hear Black Lives Matter because they really feel like if they said what they wanted to say, they'd probably be in an altercation that
I
they
don't
wouldn't
believe you.
want.
I mean, I don't. It's not that I don't believe you. Is I completely opposite. I believe all lives matter. I believe that the problem is when you fucking say one is more important than the other is where there's a problem. Okay, when you say that Black lives matter, of course they fucking matter. Your white lives matter. Fucking blue lives matter. Yellow Chinese lives matter. Whatever the fuck it is.
But if they say all lives matter and then they support the death penalty.
Yeah, but you should support the death penalty.
Yeah, but I mean, the only person that can really, in my eyes, take your life away for a crime would be God. No one's better than God.
Yeah, but if you murder somebody, that's eye for an eye.
But that's so.
Look, it ain't our job to be the judge, but it can be our job to be the fucking executioner. Like if you murder somebody, I'm not supposed. Well, the ultimate judgment is heaven or hell. Okay, the judgment that you go through in this life, where you get sentenced to prison or not, or whatever. That fucking don't matter. That does not matter in the afterlife. That's where people get the shit twisted. Yeah. It's an eye for an eye. So if you murder somebody, it is my job to send you to the actual real judge. Yes. You take someone's life, then you're supposed to get that penalty.
But I feel like judges and DAs or even jurors, because it's really not, it's the judge. I think it's 90% of the time it's the judge that gives out the sentence, I want to say, but maybe the jury has
unless there's an agreement beforehand with the DA, then it is the judge.
Ain't it in some cases the jury can pick?
The jury can only do it is like if they say, instead of it being like manslaughter, it can be first degree murder or something. They can change it to where the mandatory minimum can go from like one thing to another.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then the judge, that is the judge's job. The jury says guilty, not guilty. Then the judge has to hand the sentence down, but the DA and the prosecutor, all that shit can get together before and say, here's a plea agreement.
But see, like, the big judges sentence people who, and I mean, there's people out there who commit heinous crimes.
Yeah.
And I just don't believe no one should be put to death if one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not kill. Just because he committed that crime, he needs to answer to God. But then again, the judge, the DA, the jury, and the person who pulled the switch also just committed that same sin.
I get what you're saying.
Because now they're playing God.
No, they're not playing God.
Because they're taking a life.
Judge, okay, but still, the ultimate judgment is heaven or hell. If you believe in all that stuff, then you got everlasting life. Okay, your everlasting life is heaven or it's hell. So this life really don't fucking matter. Like I'm a Christian. I'm just a real fucking shitty Christian.
Yeah,
like Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. but I ain't no example setter. Like,
Oh,
look to
no.
somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a sinner through and through. Look to somebody else for your Bible verses. But
I
I'll tell
believe
you my
God would be
feelings on it.
disappointed if we wasn't sinners.
Yeah, because that's what we
Like,
we're
I sent
meant-
my son down there, and y'all ain't doing shit.
Yeah. Well, he
Like,
died for our sins. I just
so he
hate
did
that
it.
some of
So
them
that
is
was
the
for
shit I've
nothing.
done.
That's why I'm gonna live my best life, and we can talk about it at the gates. And I hope you can forgive me. I was raised as a Southern Baptist Christian, but I was
Yeah.
forced to go to church as a
Yeah.
child. And once I was not put in a position to where I had to get
Yeah.
up and go sit there all day, I talked to my God.
That's it. See, I don't believe in organized
we be
religion.
kicking-
So
we
we're on the
kick-
same.
Yeah,
It's about your relationship with God. But no, back to the death penalty stuff, dude. I mean, it's where like is everybody takes what they want out of the Bible. Everybody takes their verses that mean something to them or whatever. One thing I do believe is the ultimate punishment is if I was to go fuck somebody's wife and I get married, it's an eye for an eye. Then my wife should get fucked and I should have to go through the same pain that I put on somebody else. I've stole from fucking people when I was young. The number one punishment that I could ever receive was have something stole from me. Okay. That is the way it should be with fucking everything. Like that is the one true punishment is to have done to you what you did to another.
I agree with that, except I agree with that all the way down the board. But I feel like if this man kills this man and then he dies, but you get to the death penalty and shit, you're gonna sit for a minute. But wouldn't spending the rest of your life in that situation? That's how I look at it. Because I've been in there.
I get that.
I've been in there. So I've been in the system. I've been in the prisons. I've been on the yard. I've been in the dorm. I've seen the damage that inmates can do to other inmates. And I would be like,
I still think that
it's like an easy out. Death penalty is an easy
it's the easy out.
It's the easy out for people who've done heinous crimes, especially like 2021, when you can make them sit there through that hell for years.
It's the easy out. It's the easy out if you don't believe heaven and hell. If you don't believe in heaven and hell, which there's still a heaven and hell for everybody, whether you believe fucking or not. This is an easy out for those people. Like in our eyes, it's the easy out. But that person, when they die and they got to go spend fucking eternity in hellfire and brimstone, it's not easy out for them.
But 90% of the time,
all you're doing is prolonging that by somebody being on death row.
But 90% of the time, if someone committed something like that, it's going to be an easy out because they probably don't believe in heaven or hell. If they could, but you have to be a special evil motherfucker to literally take. I mean, I can say what I want to say on the internet. Well, fuck you, I'll fuck you up. But to literally know that I'm taking someone away from their loved ones, their children, their grandparents, their mother, their wife, their son, their coworkers, their best friends, their fucking dog, to have the ability within you to actually be able to do that and then go home and go to bed. You don't give a fuck about heaven or hell. You don't believe in Jesus.
The only thing that I believe and the only reason why I believe there's people that should be put on death row for a certain period of time is because there has been several cases that have been overturned where people have been wronged, like DNA evidence wasn't available. And then I would have felt horrible if I ever knew that I sent someone to the death penalty right off the bat. I get why people have to sit there, and I don't have a problem with that. But also, there's some cases that 100% that the motherfucker did it. He shouldn't have to, the government, the state, or whoever, nobody should have to put up with your shit anymore. Once it has been a malice murder and you were just the biggest piece of shit ever. That dude, I don't know if you've seen the documentary. You've seen that one where he killed his two daughters?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And he fucking put them in the oil tank and everything. That bitch ought to be swinging from a fucking tree.
I agree with that.
Right goddamn now.
So if someone blatantly commits malice murder, knowingly does it, then Derek Chauvin should get the death penalty.
Yeah, right now.
Because he maliciously put his knee on.
And I'll even take it one step farther. I think that when something like that happens, I think the family of the victims ought to pick the way you go.
Yeah, and be there.
Yeah.
But they took away Sparky from here because I've been to Jackson. I've been on death row. No, Jackson's in Jackson, Georgia.
Okay.
But I want to say Butts. I'm not positive. I don't want to get it confused. It's up off going past Putnam, I reckon. I just have to
I had to go to the psychiatric place for a day and make
But
it.
I went on death row because there was a couple of people. Just matter of fact, I took well, he wasn't my homeboy. He was from Millersville. When I say
Yeah.
homeboy, I mean he's from my hometown. He was on death row. Is he still alive? I don't know. Anyway, I took his store goods to him on death row. It's just an eerie feeling. So I mean, I've been on death row, not actually sentenced to it. So let's not get confused. I did a detail. I was with the police, but it's just that right there, like it just old Sparky. Yeah, picking out the way they go. They did that because of what do you call it? It was inhumane.
Yeah,
And
but
now
I'm
they
glad-
got the electric.
See,
They got
that's that what pisses
table,
me off when
the,
people say
lethal
inhumane.
injection.
If you fucking committed a crime that got you on there, then you did something inhumane. Just get the same fucking thing done to you.
I agree with that.
I mean, that's we both been to jail. All right, I had to go to the detention center twice. You've been to, I don't know where you've been to.
I've been detention centers, prison.
Yeah,
boot camps.
detention center is a fucking daycare
It is.
compared to what you've been through. So I can't compare my fucking 60 days first time, 90 days the second time to what you've been through. I won't even fucking try because I ain't done hard time. You've done it. So thing with that is motherfuckers in there, they ain't never gonna change. You know people that's in there and a product of the system. I used to say the last time I had to do any jail time, whatever, I was 22, 23. So it's been like 11 plus years now, right? My daughter was born right there after I got out. And that's why her name is Gracie. She's my saving grace. She showed me that I was fucking living my life all fucking wrong. All fucking wrong.
Slow down.
And that's what I did. I had to. My daughter did something the state of Georgia could never do. And that was like make a fucking man out of me. But once you get in there, you realize there ain't no helping some of these motherfuckers. They're never, ever going to change. I honestly think for folks, you made a harmless mistake. You made a mistake that, I mean, we'll get into that in just a second. You made a mistake that most men do. You like the girls a little bit younger than you. I fucking probably done the same thing. You've got statutory rape, right?
Yep. That's what it is.
And I mean, I'm not trying to like play it down or anything, but it's something that, fuck, you was young.
Yeah.
You was young. It ain't like, the first thing I told him to do when he came in was I asked him a straight ass question. He gave me a straight ass answer, which I already knew. Straight ass answer. Like I did my research a little bit first.
Okay.
But I just wanted to hear what you had to say.
Okay.
And if it was where it had been anything to do with like pedophilia or whatever, I'd have to tell you, like, I'll give you gas money for coming down here, bro. But
I wouldn't even, if it was that, if I wouldn't have myself out there, I wouldn't.
yeah. Some people are brave.
I got deleted.
Brave or stupid.
I got deleted in this false narrative. I made a mistake. There ain't no dumbing down the charge. We're not going to play it up because it's a statutory rape charge. It's just the misconstruedness or the I think I just made a word up.
It's cool. We make up shit all the time.
The misinformation about the situation that went down, I want to clear it here, and then I can direct people to your podcast later.
Yeah, you go ahead. You clear it while I go piss real fast.
All right. So what had happened? I met a female in 2019. No, not 2019. No, excuse me. I met a female in 1999. She was 15. I was 20. I turned 21 on February the 15th of 2000. She turned 16 somewhere before I had ended up getting incarcerated. March the 1st, they kicked in the door. They locked me up. I was assuming that I was being arrested for some burglary charges because I had done some burglaries in the neighborhood about a week prior. It's pretty stupid. I didn't take nothing because as soon as I went inside the house, the alarms went off and about shit my pants. I just ran back outside. I didn't know they did that. So I get into the detective's office, and he sits down and looks across the table at me. And he says, "So you've been having sex with an underage girl?" And I'm like, "What? Hold up, wait a second." And I said, "Ain't you here for the burglaries?" I even told him about the burglary charges. He was like, "What burglaries?" That warrant came in the next day. They never let me out. They never gave me a bond. The reason why I got charged, because there's been a lot of talk on TikTok about 16 being the legal age of consent. It probably is. It's 21 years ago. It probably was too. They asked me when we met. I told them when we met, they kind of correlated the ages because they're detectives. They get paid to do that shit. They get paid to catch bad people. They get paid to catch people who break laws. They get paid to catch people trying not to get caught. So they figured out the ages, and that's where the charge came from. And 3 months later, I went to court, pled out to a 3 counts of residential burglary, 1 count of statutory rape. All 4 of the charges were 90% crimes. 90% crime back in, I want to say it was initiated in 99 in the state of Georgia. And I was telling Josh the same thing. Residential burglary is a 90% crime, but commercial burglary is not a 90% crime. So if Billy gets a residential burglary charge and the judge sentences him to 10 years, and Aaron gets a commercial burglary charge and the judge sentences me to 10 years, I get out in a year, 2, maybe 3. Billy, with his residential ass, is going to do 9 years because 90% of 10. Because it could have turned violent. It's an automatic violent charge. So when I ended up going to prison, my TPM, which is tentative parole month, was set for, what's that, like June or July of 2004. 5 months. What was it? February. Anyway, September, October, somewhere 5 months before my actual max out date of February the 28th. And I'm a big 420 advocate. I think 420
I'm a fan myself.
I think that's the key. That's the key to all of America's problems.
As soon as they legalize, I'm telling you, I'm not drinking any more alcohol.
That's the key to all of America's problems. Everybody would be happy. And all the food industries would boom.
Don't you know the only industry that wouldn't?
What?
Pharmaceutical.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the reason why. But to finish up what I was saying, if this is the last time I will address it, I will make a video on my TikTok account, and I will make a video when I get to the house on my Instagram account. I am following you on everything.
I followed you back.
Y'all can come. I'm gonna do the best. This is my first time doing anything like this.
You're doing good. You're
so
doing very
please,
good.
I want to get better at it. I don't want y'all to be like, he don't know what the hell he's doing, because I really do. But I want to figure out a way to direct everybody to this podcast so that they can hear it, so that this man right here that gave me the opportunity to come in here and tell the story can get the views he needs, I guess.
Well, I'll put it this way.
The ratings.
This was supposed to be something completely different than what it is. But for anybody that's ever listened before, you know, I believe in growth. I believe in people fucking realizing that you made mistakes and fucking overcoming them. One of the biggest things that not only do people do, but our correctional system here in Georgia, is you make a mistake one time, you fucking live with it forever.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain things. I have a friend. I don't even know if he fucking listens to the show. I know we talk a good bits to each other. He's got a business here in Cochran. Same thing happened to him. He was 18, 19 years old. Oh, no, he would have been 19, 20 years old. Slept with a girl that was 15. Everybody knew this girl was willing, ready, throwing it to everybody. Only difference is her mama or her daddy, I don't know the whole story, called him. He got in trouble. Now this guy that's actually a good fucking guy has a sex offender charge on him the rest of his fucking life.
And if people see that don't know him from Adam's House Cat, are just going to automatically label him a monster. It's a touchy.
I don't think, but see, this is how you fix touchy. You talk about it.
Yeah.
You take the taboo and you have to fucking talk about it.
Put it in their face.
Everybody that knows me knows, especially because of my daughter. I went on this tear last year when I started diving down like the Q conspiracy, like rabbit hole and all that stuff, and like children trafficking and all this bullshit and everything. Like I was one of the ones that I downloaded the apps that they told you to. You could see the sex offenders in your area. And I started noticing people on there like that I knew. And I had to, because my daughter is fucking, she's in sports here. She's fucking gifted and everything where she goes to school. We're active members in the community.
And you looked at that list, you was probably like, wait.
Well, I'm very noticeable in the community. Mm-hmm. And like people come up to me and Gracie and Walmart and everything, and they want to talk and everything. And some of them's weird. And like, I appreciate everybody, but some of them's just fucking weird. So I started just like looking at this list. Some of these people that I actually had on my social media, I did what I thought was right. I reached out to them privately and I asked them what their charges were, because I was straight up telling them, I was like, look, My daughter's on all my stuff. She's at my studio a lot with me and all these other things. We're friends. You know, you like my stuff, you share my stuff, all this stuff. Give me a little insight to what, what happens. You know what? A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people's going to see that you have a charge or whatever. They're not even going to fucking ask you.
Mm-mm.
I
Yes,
don't
sir.
I don't believe in that. I have a theft on mine. I was fucking 18 years old.
You don't want to be judged for that.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you talk about it openly and you're honest about it, like there's nothing that I have done that you probably couldn't spend 10 minutes researching with Dodge County or Bleckley County court system and find out. Like, fucking find it. I stole some scrap metal one time, and the other time, me and some friends broke into a fucking tractor supply company. Yeah. We were stupid. We was 18. I was a goddamn idiot.
Yeah,
I'd go back and beat my own ass now if I could. But at the same time, it made me who I am today. So it's real hard to say I have remorse for it, but it put me on the path that I'm on now.
A lot of people that are talking shit to me, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't give a shit what they say about it, probably couldn't talk that shit to me looking in a mirror. Not about my situation, but just in general. I'm not trying to throw that on everybody because I don't want it, because there's a lot of misconstruing on the internet. I'm not insinuating that everybody's been in this kind of situation, but ain't nobody perfect.
No.
You see what I mean? So,
no. And yeah, dude, everybody's fucked up. I bet you heard the same thing. I bet you heard the same thing when you were locked up that I heard when I was. I would have cool ass fucking correction officers, and you'd have dickheads now. You'd have some to get off telling you what to do and fucking all sorts of stuff. But you'd have some that were real fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that were real cool always would say the same thing to you. The only difference between you and me is you got caught and I didn't.
Yep, you got caught, I didn't. Or
everybody fucking makes mistakes.
We had some of the coolest correction officers. There's correction officers that work in the Department of Corrections in the state of Georgia. Well, this was back in 2000 to 2005. I don't know about now. That would literally, inmates would literally tear another inmate's ass up about them if they caused them any problems, if they were causing problems in the dorm, making the officer not look like he was doing his job to his supervisor.
Yeah,
he'd step to the side and be like, "Hey, man, these three inmates over here keep not doing what I asked them to do. They keep, trying to make me look bad. Now, I don't give a shit if y'all smoke, run tattoos, and play poker. And if you smoke your little pot, do your little baby powder trick. But I don't want these guys to get me messed up. Next thing you know, I'm going to run a smoke break real quick. Tell everybody to go to the courtyard.
Yeah.
30 minutes later, they ain't got nobody. They either fitting to go out the dorm. I've seen them run them out the dorm plenty of times. Like you start messing with a cool ass officer that lets inmates do what they need to do to hustle, and you are starting to put a damper on that, they will run your ass up out of that dormitory.
When were you locked up? From what years?
From 2000 to 2005.
Okay. This shows how fucking different shit got. Mine was 2010.
Okay.
All right. 2010, like 2007. You didn't have smoke breaks and stuff.
No, they took cigarettes out.
Yeah, you had to where they used to, what was it? They used to take the tinfoil and pop it in the socket.
Yeah, it's like, I can do that.
Yeah, of course you can. I've never smoked cigarettes, so I didn't give a fuck. I remember they used to take, what was it? The tinfoil, pop it in the socket.
Pencil lead. Take pencil lead, Brillo pad, batteries, razor blades. You could take the tinfoil.
Did you ever eat a soup or a burrito? Not a soup, but
we call them pockets.
Pockets. That's what they were.
It depends on what we used to. Well, you can actually make burritos with a pocket because they're on like Christmas time. They have special items that they sell on the store. You get tortillas, flour tortillas. So you would make the pocket and then you would chop it up and then put it in the burrito.
Let me tell you what a fucking nasty.
That's my go-to shit when we ain't got no food in the house. And look, the kids have done ate all the food because my kids are going there and fuck up 25 Lunchables to get 25 fucking little goddamn Crunch bars. And I'm like, look, if you don't just tell me that you want this fucking candy bar, do you understand? I took one of my, look, this is no lie. My little girl got on my ass one night about 8 o'clock so bad about a fucking Lunchable. I got up out of bed because I had gotten tired. I was going to sleep and took her ass to Kroger with me. And I said, come here, little girl. We walked. People was looking at me like I was crazy. I said, come on, little girl, we're finna do this. Walked to the back. I said, why you want this Lunchable? She said, pick it up. I said, here, you go ahead and open it. Let her open it in the back and everything. All she did was she grabbed a candy bar out of it.
Yeah.
Put Lunchable. I said, I knew it. Came back up the candy out. I picked up the whole bag of them. I said, would you rather have this or the Lunchable? And her eyes got as big as tea saucers.
Damn.
But when you talk about just pockets, the ramens,
I've made them,
struggling time.
I've made them for my friends.
You need to make a Bombay.
Now that's it's coffee, Kool-Aid, and
Coke.
what it is.
Coke.
And
Coca-Cola.
I never drank those. I
You got to
never
make
drank
them.
those.
You got to make them strong. When I say make, well, you got to make it correctly. If I made one, I'm gonna make one for y'all on TikTok.
Yeah, you need to.
It's like you get Keefy coffee. It's 3-ounce bag of coffee, and you make 2 Bombays with a bag of coffee.
Yeah.
So I'll just let you. The bag of coffee is 3 ounces. You put a half an ounce of coffee.
We have a coffee sponsor for the show now. I don't think they're gonna be down with that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you good. I don't give a fuck.
It's not sold in stores.
Gridiron coffee. No, you can't. No.
It's not sold in store. I make
No,
sure to
I
buy
mean,
a bag.
they're probably not going to want their coffee made into a Bombay.
If it's instant, I'll show make it. Let me get a big following. You'll want it because I make a good video.
I've had friends before that I'll tell them about because, like I said, I was only locked up 5 months total of my whole life, right? So it's not very long. Do you know the 10 centers? Like I said earlier, fucking kindergartners.
Yeah.
All right. So I was uppity. Like I didn't come from a rich family or nothing like that, but I've always been picky about what I would eat.
Mm-hmm.
I could not eat the food. I could not eat the bullshit they were making me. Besides, for every once in a while, I could eat something. So I had a dude like the first week that I was at this detention center. He was like, "Hey, try this. It's gonna look like shit. It's gonna smell like shit, but you're gonna like it." And I ate it, and I was like, delicious. "Oh, I'm eating these the next fucking 60 days. This is what I have to eat to fucking get by."
If you blindfold people
and they're good, it's a casserole.
Most people can't look at it.
Oh fuck no, you can't look at it.
But some people have the ability to make them because when we make it with crackers, soup, crackers, crunchy Cheetos, hot pickles, summer sausages.
Yep.
You can take the Fritos.
You got to put a little bit of peanut butter and lock it up.
Peanut butter, take the crackers and the peanut butter is what I used to use. The one chip I don't like is a Ruffles. Anything rigid. You don't want to use rigid chips because they don't.
I had got it down to a science. I swear I did because I'm like this way with everything that I do. I used to have different meals for different nights, so it would take different. So I'd always get like the Fritos chili, the chili Fritos.
Chili cheese Fritos.
Chili Fritos. Then I would get the chili ramen noodles, then the cheese and peanut butter crackers, a little bit of peanut butter, and then the hot and spicy noodles, or the hot and spicy pickles. That shit was always good.
There's certain items that I swear on my life they only sell to inmates. Like I don't know. I've never seen this pack of crackers ever in my life except for in prison. And I was at Dodge.
Oh, you right up the road, bro.
I was at Dodge State.
You was at Dodge State when I lived a mile away from Dodge State when I was in high school.
I was like, this is the ironicness of it, though. And this is supposed to be fucking comical right here. So y'all just bear with me and laugh. They sent me to a prison in a city called Chester.
I'm from Chester, motherfucker.
Like, they sent me to a fucking prison named Chester. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? When I seen that sign, because I knew that Dodge County was Eastman.
Yeah.
Because I used to, when I was on the PDC tour on my first probation start, I used to go to the Eastman YDC and do work, like the stores, the warehouse, we would do that. And I pulled up the Dodge. I was like, hey, there's some shit right here. And I stayed down there. I got out.
Literally were locked up 2 miles away from my mom and daddy's
big
house.
ass fucking field right there in the front of
graveyard and everything right here. I know exactly where the fuck I've almost wrecked my truck drunk as fuck.
My mama had
2 or 3 times coming from that dirt road across going past.
I was there. They got a fucking big ass field outside the yard. What is it down here with chicken shit? I've been wanting to get out of Dodge State Prison and ask somebody down here, why do they spread all this chicken shit? Do y'all realize? Whoa.
I know it smells like shit, but you know what?
They got a field. Look, they got a field that butts up to the prison fence in the yard.
I'm a farm kid. I'll tell you why. That chicken shit make you shit grow.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it makes it grow.
That shit has the whole institution. And we got these fucking exhaust fans that pull all the air in. So you're in a big shit storm.
I don't know anybody that would, besides Arthur Lee. Arthur Lee was somebody that we grew up with. Oh, he's way older. He's my daddy's age. But he worked at Dodge State Prison until he retired.
Gary Darby.
I don't remember. I don't know him.
These are people, I know 3 people from Dodge County. They're my age.
Yeah.
Gary Darby.
Don't know.
I was in boot camp with him. Missy Kitchens.
That name actually sounds familiar.
I want to say Jennifer Kitchens, like a bigger girl. She's tall. This was when I was like 20 years ago. This was in the 90s. Yeah. But I was friends with him And him and them two came up to my house. We hung out one day because me and him got real cool. I looked out
Yeah.
for him in the 90 days we were there. And I just remember him being from
Yeah.
Eastman. I didn't know. I just said the names in case they rang a bell because you're from
The
here.
kitchens.
I want to
I
say
know
Missy
some
might
from
have.
there.
Missy was Jennifer's cousin, and I want to say she had blonde hair. But this was 20 something years
Yeah.
ago. This was before This was before the 21 years ago. This was
Yeah.
in like 98, 99.
I don't know. I was a baby. I wasn't even. I was like 10 years old.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's
you
10
thought-
years.
yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
10.
Oh,
there's
that's
10
10 years. That's right. I'm
Yeah,
old.
there's 10 years age
Shit.
difference.
That's
from me
right.
and
I'm
you.
dirt. Damn it.
No. Well, dude, I'm definitely gonna have you back on the show.
I appreciate it.
You. I hope more people actually can take a few minutes and get to know you.
I mean,
I think that's how I would push the show on your aspect is like, because this isn't what I wanted it to be. But I'm way happier with this, to be honest with you.
I appreciate
just because some people don't get a second. Public opinion will fucking kill you.
Mm-hmm.
The court of public opinion is way worse than a fucking jury. Is because once people make their minds up about you, like
it's set in stone.
it is.
But I have swayed some. Some people have actually, well, let me listen to what you got to say. And I mean, the facts, like, when I say the facts, I don't mean like, I know. First, let me just go ahead and address this simple fact because it's been said on TikTok and I have addressed it in video, but I don't agree with what happened.
Yeah.
I know I was wrong now, but when I was 20, I wasn't.
Nobody thinks about it then.
I mean, I wasn't a father of 3 little girls, a 42-year-old man who runs a big ass, or not a company, but a big ass route for a big ass company.
Yeah.
I was living the life. I thought I was the shit and I wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I made the joke with you before we fucking started about how growing up, I wanted to be fucking in the mafia. I wanted to be goddamn Scarface or the Goodfellas.
Game, man. I mean, like that
was fucking stupid. We were kids.
So I just want to let it. Not, I don't agree with what happened. I just want to make sure that that's not.
But what makes you different than a lot of people that are locked up now is you grew. You had growth. Mm-hmm. You fucking have realized, hey, I fucked up. I made a mistake. One of the fucking biggest and best qualities a person can have is saying, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Here it is. I'm giving it to you on a fucking plate. The reason why so many people are getting canceled because of their mistakes or their past on social media is because they don't want to look it dead on. Look, we all fuck up. Mm-hmm. If you know you fucked, I made it very clear. I make it clear to sponsors to this day. If you would have looked at my social media 10 years ago, I'd probably said some stupid fucking shit.
Who hasn't?
If you're going to go back and judge me on 10 years ago before I went through all those experiences to change me, to get me to where I am now, then I don't want you fucking sponsoring my show. Take your money, wipe your ass with it, and shove it up your ass.
If you don't make mistakes, you won't never grow.
Yeah, nobody is fucking perfect.
Man, I mean, I may have made a mistake I shouldn't have made, but I made that mistake. And if I could go back and not make that mistake, I would go back way before that mistake ever happened and go back and slap the shit out of myself and say, you ain't quitting school. You're going to get this education. And this is what you're going to do. Because in this year, you're going to come out with Facebook. And then that year, you're going to come out with TikTok. And then that year, you're going to come out with YouTube. And I'd be the man. I'd be Jeff. You're going to come out with Amazon.
Well, man, I'm just telling you, like, nobody thinks that far ahead. People like to say they do, but you don't. And then you don't know what's going to make you happy and how your roads are going to fucking veer. Anybody that has been on the same path that they've been on since they were 15, 16 years old, and they're in their 60s or 40s, or even my age now, if you have not veered from that fucking path,
they're lying.
Well, they're miserable.
I don't believe no one is.
I think that there is some.
Do you think there's some?
The only reason why I think that there is some, I've got a cousin that's like this.
Okay.
And I respect the absolute fuck out of him. He has wanted to be a preacher since he was 10, 12 years old. He's older than me. He is a preacher, and he is a damn good one. I mean, he's overseas. He stays overseas. He is fucking what you would want a man of God to be.
Yep.
He's never made a mistake or anything. But you know how relatable that is to me?
No.
None.
I got a cousin like that.
I like the fucking people.
She is my cousin's a female. She's got a lot of hardships. Her daughter battles cancer. Like she's young, not young. She's maybe in her 20s, but she's like that because her mom, my aunt, she's stuck in the Little House on the Prairie vibe.
Yeah.
really, like when I say Southern Christian woman,
Yeah.
like this is who you envision. Her daughter is the exact same. And
Yeah.
her daughter's older than me. Like I'm not even as old as my cousin because
Yeah.
I'm the baby
I
cousin.
don't knock them for that, but they've never got to experience anything else in life. That I'm glad that they've been that way because you know what? I know for 100% going straight to heaven, there ain't no fucking roadblocks, there ain't no nothing. But I just don't think that's the path for everybody. I think some people are supposed to fuck up. I think some people are supposed to learn, they're supposed to grow. I think if everybody if everybody tried to be that good, you'd be miserable. I know it would kill me.
Yeah, there's got to be there's got to be a balance in the world.
I don't think I would have found my faith if I would have been that way. I think I would have took my faith for granted.
Yes.
I think I had to. That's like I tell folks all the time. If I'm gonna go listen to a preacher, I can't go listen to a squeaky clean preacher. I have to go listen to someone who has been through some shit.
See, I don't go to church, but my kids go. My son, my oldest son goes, and I don't have a desire to go to church because I don't want to go in there and sit in a seat and look up at this man with this long sleeve shirt and a tie. And he speaks out of now you just to say because of your image. Oh yeah, I'm up in that guy every.
Yeah, see that's
because I know you're gonna be like, God shit, this is what God said to me last night, y'all. And that shit's gonna be like, oh, he's real.
Well, the thing is like with that stuff, like you have warriors for God and you have preachers. I believe I'm a warrior. I believe that there's people that are going to come across my path one day, and I know some have before that have talked to me about my faith. I believe that everybody's supposed to be a Christian. I believe that is the only way, the truth, the light. And some people don't want to listen to that long sleeve dude. Some people don't. Some people want somebody that's going to be rough around the edges. You know why a lot of people don't go to churches because they don't want to be judged. So you have to be able to talk about God and you have to be able to talk about everything under the sun and not make that person feel like they're getting judged. There's nothing that you have done. Same with that correction officer used to tell us. There's probably nothing you haven't done that I haven't done. I just didn't get caught. And then once I had Gracie 10 years ago, it don't sound like you've been in any trouble since,
2005.
Yeah. You learn from that shit, man. If you go look back in the Bible, there's people that fucked up. The people that now, the way that everybody wants to be, supposed to have like, oh, we're not ever supposed to fuck up. See, that's probably why I hated you when I first saw you on social media, was because that is what a lot of left
believe people shouldn't fuck up.
They should believe that you never made a mistake in your life and they're canceling. Your wife said she used to listen to me on radio. I got fired for some shit that I didn't even do on radio. I got fired for shit that I did not even do on radio. So it's like, okay, I'm sorry that I offended you, but at the same time, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, but you didn't give a fuck about my feelings.
That's it. See, like, in my personal opinion, a lot of people are going to be upset when they get to the pearly gates. And Jesus like, about fucking time. You know what I'm saying? They're like, wait a minute, what did you just say? Oh, you've been down there living your best life. That ain't how we roll. That's the way I look at it. And that's like, when I get to heaven, God's going to be like, I got you a fucking seat in the back. Come on, man. We finna go. Roll this shit up.
I think when we get there, I think that the people are going to be happy are the ones that realize that you don't have to walk the same path as somebody else. My path isn't your path.
Yeah.
But I think that you're supposed to realize what your path is, and that's the one you're supposed to stay on. What you're doing now, having fun with it and everything, there's probably something deeper to it. Mm-hmm. There's probably something more that you don't realize. I'll go and tell you, like I said, I thought this was going to be something different today. Yeah. But when I realized when we was talking before that it was better if I did this. Okay. There's going to be somebody that listens to me and you today. Now, is this as entertaining as me and you talking shit back and forth to each other the whole time? Probably fucking not, to be honest with you. But it's not about it being entertaining to everybody. There's somebody that's going to listen to two people that's been in jail that have made better of themselves, mm-hmm. that are like, you know what? I fucked up. I was sorry I fucked up. I wanted to make my life better. And they're going to lift themselves up and be like, you know what? I've made those mistakes. And now I want to better myself, just like these two dudes have done.
Yeah, I want people to look at me and I'm not gonna give up. I want people to have that same attitude.
Yeah.
Like no matter how many times you get knocked down 12 times, get the fuck up 22 times to show a motherfucker that they ain't shit and that you're gonna survive and you're gonna overcome.
Well, you
And-
don't fail. Like too many people say that they failed in life or they failed doing something. I don't think you fail. I think you had learning experiences. I think I was telling Catfish this shit the other day. Fucking reason why it's called 409 is because they fucked up the formula 408 times.
Yeah.
They fucked it up 408
Formula
times.
409.
That's why it's called
I ain't
that.
never thought about that shit.
That is why it is
I'm
called.
gonna use that one.
That is why it's fucking called that.
I like that.
You're
right. If you think about the name of Formula 409,
dude, everything is simple, and I'm simplifying the fuck out of this. Everything is wrong until it's right.
That's it.
You're gonna marriages, relationships.
You got to work on it. Nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
If you don't work on something, I mean, you can go buy I bought a brand new car. Me and my wife got brand new cars. My first oil change is due next week. I'm at the limit. If I don't get that oil change 6 months from now and my shit tears up, who's to blame?
You.
So you got to maintain it. Just isn't gonna be like,
Take my
okay,
goddamn truck when you go, because that bitch is due.
if I can get it in the Mitsubishi, I will. If a Hyundai, I will.
Man. Well, dude, I appreciate you being on the show. I hope people actually. I had a preconceived notion of you, and I still think you're fucking a heel. I still think you could be a
I
very.
could give you one real quick. Like I was wanting to say this about people who are about the sinning. God sent his only son to earth to die for our sins. If y'all asses go to heaven and hasn't sinned, he needs to send y'all to hell. It'll make him lose
I don't
his
agree with that one
trust.
either. But
Think about it. I
But,
sent
no, I
my
get what
son
you
down
mean.
here to die on the cross for y'all sins, and now y'all ain't sinning.
yeah, but just because you got $100 in the bank don't mean you should spend it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I fucking always am.
Yeah,
That's
I like
that's
that.
part of being well versed. Anyway, but hey, dude, I appreciate it. You did a hell of a job.
I
You will be
appreciate it.
invited back.
I
I'm gonna
appreciate
get you in a room full of fucking people
Okay.
next time we do this, and I'm gonna let you tear some ass up.
Okay.
I think this is the first one. But hey,
Appreciate you.
y'all, thank y'all for listening to Politics, Religion, and Whiskey. We will catch y'all next time.